I had just gotten home from work, and while I was undressing in my bedroom,
Anjanette Young, a social worker, had just finished her shift at the hospital when police entered her home.
And it happened so fast, I didn't have time to put on clothes.
She was surrounded by 12 male officers.
And I'm just standing there. I mean, terrified, humiliated, not even understanding why in that moment that this is happening to me.
Almost immediately, Young is handcuffed.
If I had made one wrong move, I felt like they would have shot me. I truly believe that they would have shot me.
A police officer wraps a short coat around her shoulder, still leaving her front fully exposed. Eventually, one of the officers holds a blanket in place.
You need to tell me what you're looking for. It felt like forever for me. It felt like forever.
Young tells the raid team at least 43 times they are in the wrong place.
You got the wrong house. You got the wrong house.
She was right. They were in the wrong house. WBBM's investigation uncovered police simply took the word of an informant who said a felon with a handgun lived in the apartment.
I've been living here for 4 years and nobody lives here but me.
Okay, you don't have to shout.
I don't have to shout. This is ridiculous. You got me in here because I'm naked. You kicked my house in. And I keep telling you, you got the wrong place.
So, where was the target? Our investigation revealed he was awaiting trial on home confinement here at a different apartment in Anjanette Young's complex. How easy would it have been to locate him? Easy, real easy, because he was wearing a police tracking device, an electronic monitoring bracelet. Keenan Salter is Anjanette Young's attorney.
If this had been a young woman in Lincoln Park by herself in her home, naked, a young white woman, let's just be frank, if the reaction would have been the same. I don't think it would have been. They viewed Ms. Young as less than human.
Police did eventually walk Young to a room so she could get dressed.
I'm a social worker. I've been a social worker for 20 years. I follow the law. I don't get in trouble for anything. I don't do illegal stuff. I'm not that person. You got the wrong information.
At this point, the sergeant tells the officer who got the warrant to step outside.
Let's go talk outside.
Once outside, the body camera is shut off. But the sergeant returns with this message.
We believe your story.
None of the officers have been disciplined. Mayor Lori Lightfoot's administration tried to block CBS Chicago from airing this body camera footage by filing an emergency motion in court. A judge ruled against the city, but the mayor said she saw the footage for the first time Tuesday.
What I've directed my law department to do is, with respect to this one, if there is a pending case, get that case resolved.
The work is warranted. They need to do the work, but they need to do it right. They can't just callously do it and leave people's lives in ruins because they got it wrong.
I don't got a gun. I don't got a gun.
In a statement, Mayor Lightfoot says she has no further comment because of pending litigation and ongoing investigations. Now, we talked to her office last year about the raid and the body cams, so it's unclear why she's saying she's just seeing the video now for the first time. Meanwhile, Young and her attorney are refiling their lawsuit in state court next week. Anthony?
Dave Savini, the WBBM there with some great reporting. Thank
What are you?
I'm black and beautiful.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Suppose I had some money in my pocket. Suppose I gave you $1 to say that you're an American Negro. This is money now. Money talks. Money talks. This dollar. And if you don't say it, you don't get it. You're an American Negro, aren't you?
No.
You won't have any money. You know you need money, don't you?
Yes.
You need money to live, don't you?
Yes.
All right. All you have to say, Leon, is that you're an American Negro. Aren't you an American Negro?
Hey, how y'all doing, everybody? This is your host, Mr. Blows Your Minds, and welcome to a testing show by Mr. Blows Your Minds. I am your whiteologist, and this is a test show. Running to see if all my equipment is running to par. Thank those who happen to just be here for the test show. We are always available. We also have another show with Black Minds TV. You can go over there and subscribe as well. So, as a test show, what I'm going to do here is talk about this particular incident that it seems like everybody has some kind of knowledge about. And what we see there is a situation that happened up in Chicago. And as you see in the video there, a house was raided. And let me show you what it talked about in the article that came out in the paper here, right? So you see it says, I want accountability, says woman seen in video of botched CPD raid. Let me say that again. I want accountability, says woman seen in video of botched CBD or CPD raid. So imagine yourself in her situation, right? Not too long ago, we heard up in Louisville, Kentucky, where a situation where it was something similar, different result, scenario somewhat same, difference was by itself. Imagine if there would have been a man in the house, right? Let's say if a man would have been there, a man would have tried to defend somebody breaking in. We have another situation. It's like what happened in Kentucky, right? And so many people may see this and not correlate the two and recognize that you had Anjanette Young. That's the woman that you see on your screen there. And she's not trying to crave any kind of spotlight based on the simple fact that she just wants to bring out, as she say, accountability, right? She's not looking for any kind of exposure, right? And she believes this is not easy for her to do because for the simple fact that we're talking about police, right? Now, there's two sides to that story. There's the part where we need police for situations that may befall any of us. And then there's the other side of the equation, where those who are Black Americans and those of color particularly see the worst side. Maybe it's not as reoccurring all the time. And I'm not sure right now. I think my mic might be sounding a little muffled. Again, it's supposed to be a workout to try to see if I can get some of this stuff worked out. But hopefully it's not too muffled. Hopefully that you can hear me clearly. And we're going to kind of work it as we go into it. So anyway, but the point is, certain people see certain things in a different light because of their encounter, their history, and so forth. And it seems like Anjanette Young, being in Chicago, most likely didn't seem is probably of the Black American lineage. And so what we see and heard here, imagine, like I said, being at home, being as comfortable as you want, right? I think that's the most comfortable thing you can be, is butt naked in your house. You relax to the utmost. It's most likely when you're in that situation, you either in, to be in the position or just got through. But then there's sometimes you just want to let it all, just you home and you just want to relax. Sometimes, those who got children away, gone away somewhere, and it's just, or a man who is single, living his own, he just want to be like that, right? So anyway, the fact is that, according to what I had read, she had been at home, was watching some TV, or had just got home from work, and then her door gets kicked in, right? As you seen and heard, we seen partial of the video that they got out there. They don't have it in its entirety. They gave you what they want to show. And we see what took place. We see how Mrs. Young was hysterical, scared, and the police, based on what we heard, sounded like it's supposed to have been about a search warrant, right? Okay. Well, that's what they said, right? And so we see that based on the situation that Mrs. Young went through, she's just looking for accountability, right? She says she's not looking for people on social media to be followers. She don't need stuff like that. She just wants accountability, right? What they tell us with justice and the woman with the blindfold on her eyes, and that you're seeking for justice. But those of that persuasion, those of that cut, of that lineage, that is what they hold, our hold. Let me see that. Let me clear that up. That's our hold. Where we've been looking at it from what they say, emancipation, right? So anyway, this happened back in 2019 of February. According to said again, it was executing a search warrant. Now, I'm under the impression that when you say a search warrant, right? And then they talk about the fact that there was some bad information that an informant gave. I mean, if you got a search warrant, do you really need, right? Think about that. Do you really need an informant if you already got a signed search warrant from a judge? So, I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding. Maybe something not connecting. That's just me looking at the situation and say, according to what they say. Now, you know, it's already been a year gone by, and this making its rounds. And so we see that you can hear on the video there, you see that Miss Young is yelling at the officers. According to them, they counted 40 times. So I know in that little 3-minute clip that I just showed, you did not hear 40 times, but accordingly, they counted through the entirety of the video, and it comes out to be about 40 times, and that she's telling them they're in the wrong home. Now, I thought that, at least from my understanding, that if I was a police officer, that if we're going to do a search warrant, I think I'm going to cross my eye or dot my I's, cross my T's, right? And let's make sure that we don't have, but it seems that, you know, my bad if we kick in the wrong door, oh, my bad. But then again, situations can go awry where, let's just say the situation in Kentucky, you're inside doing what you're doing, and somebody's on the outside. Okay, they say they had their agenda while they was there. Again, we're hearing the same thing in the terms of search warrant, but that kind of got buried and nobody talks about that anymore. But let's say somebody's coming through your door and you inside and you hear that, I think you're going to go into your ADT moment. You're going to get into your defensive mode, right? So if that befalls and that happens, so then people need to figure out if everything is in accordance to what everybody's position of why they there. So if the authorities are here and they say that they came based on some official business, then all A, B, C, D need to be in order, correct? Shouldn't everything be in its proper order? And then when it comes to find out that it's not, then, right, the ball is on your court. You got to defend, right? You on defense now, right? So we see that acting on bad information, you know, it's kind of like saying sometimes when you be reading articles and they talk about they have a, let's say, what they call that, the people, what's that, anonymous source, but they don't have to tell who the person who is your informant, I guess only they gonna know, and they'll catch up to that individual if all that is true. But I'm not understanding why you would need an informant that if you got a search warrant that was signed by a judge. So in that sense, and then when you kind of hear that the person who they were seeking was already on paper with house monitor and awaiting to go to trial. So what was all, you know what I'm saying? They just don't smell and don't seem right. They just don't seem right. But anyway, we see that Miss Young is a social worker, according to what she said and you heard in the video. And again, as she said, she was getting ready for bed at that time. Other stories say some other things. But the point is she was at home, right? She was at home doing what she was doing in the confines of your own home. You the king, you the queen in your own home. You ain't got to answer to nobody, right? And so we see that according to the way that we are able to see what done took place is the fact that it was on, they say, just an officer's body-worn camera. Only one out of 12 officers who were coming through on to execute a search warrant. Wouldn't it be best for the officers who have the cameras that for your own, you know what I'm saying, for your, not so much of your safety, but just say that everything so that it can be recorded so that you can say, okay, this is what took place and I didn't break any laws, and right? But it seems like sometimes they don't want that. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna say sometimes, a majority of the damn time, they don't want them damn cameras, because why? Because the story gonna tell you something that different than sometimes when somebody writing a report. We're going to collaborate and we're going to put this story together because, we didn't do everything according to the way we say we did. But when you have to go, it's your word versus their word. And so it's like, right? So the camera in itself becomes like the referee. They tell you that the referee isn't biased, right? That's why he wears white and black, right? you wear black and a white uniform to say, that's his unbiased, but we know damn well that referees, especially if you don't play some sports, damn well referee can be biased. But that's just the, of minds they want to play with you. So the fact we see that based on that body-worn camera, that it looked like that Miss Anjanette Young had tried to get, I think she tried to obtain the Freedom of Information Act, and they had denied her, right? They objected to, the city had objected to the law department, and it was not going to allow her to get that footage. But we see that later on it ended up happening, it got out, and we can see why they didn't want that to get out, because it just puts a black eye on police department, right? And so what we see is that they were forced, the city hall was forced to deal with the reality. We see that the mayor, Lori Lightfoot, and according to what they state in this article, they talked about the fact that Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago, fought to keep this footage from being unwrapped. Kind of like the same thing when you go back and you think about the Laquan McDonald situation, where that took place. And, matter of fact, kind of like if you watch The Wire, you've seen the series of The Wire. Remember, they were talking about how they want to keep that countdown by not reporting and had them all up in the boarded up places until after election. Kind of like that what happened there in, with the Ron Emanuel situation. But you ain't heard that from me. But anyway, right? So we see that by trying to keep this underfoot, we see that Lori Lightfoot came out and she denied having knowledge of the raid until this week. Now this is not, this ain't like this happened last week. Right? This happened back in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was February 2019. So we, pretty much a year and plus. So you was mad at the time, right? So we understand. What they call it, CTA, cover thy ass. You know how it is when people get in trouble. Got to cover thy ass. The ass got covered or trying to cover, but you know how it is. Things come to the light. And so according, I said it wasn't on the agenda, that how this all came to fruition is the fact that it was the final city council meeting of the year, and there was a clash between an alderman that came out of the 25th ward and the mayor. And so talked about this specific raid, and what we, according to what the article talks about, says that the Lightfoot had offered younger Frank apology. The thing is, apology is good when you're a kid, right? And apologies can be good when somebody give it to you in the sincere, and depending on the severity of the injury or what done took place. But sometimes apology is not enough. It's a start, but that is not the all be all, right? So sometimes you need a little bit more than that. And so See that, just to do that, and then there's no accountability, as you heard Ms. Young is seeking, that the trauma in that, right? There's trauma. And I got an article, again, but this here is just going to be primarily, again, this is just my test show. Again, I'm going to actually do this again. I'm testing for the night. I want to see how everything, I'm hoping that the mic ain't too bad. Kind of get a little feedback, so it might not be as crisp as I want. So I got to fidget with it a little bit. But the point is, I'm going to put together this particular aspect with the fact that some articles that came out and talking about how the trauma that you see that Anjanette Young went through, that Black Americans in particular, how racism in itself is a weapon. Unbeknownst, either, once I relay it, it's not going to be like it's new news. It's the fact that, did you know? Did you know that this racism that we deal with goes to a molecular aspect in our being, right? It does something to us, and they've been studying this, and they come out with some findings. And matter of fact, based on the fact that this COVID, that they weren't able to get to the end of the determination because of, now you got to add the COVID into the study, and if many of them even going to survive out of that, right? But the point is, trauma, and they've come to find out that trauma can actually be passed from generation to generation. So, people may think that, we're working on trying to be better. We doing these, change is slow. Yeah, but then that, it's kind of like cooking in your kitchen, right? In the oven. You put stuff in there to simmer, let it roast, or let it broil, and it cooks at a time. Well, that's what you're doing when you're slow with this progress of trying to redeem or make amends for the things that have been done, if that's truly your agenda. But while you slow process, it's like slow cooking. And once I show you what I'm talking about, you'll know, like, damn, they've been cooking our ass this whole damn time. You damn right they've been cooking our ass. So anyway, a little bit more of this fact that she said that she voted for Lori Lightfoot, right? Said she voted for. Matter of fact, she even recalled the fact that she remembered her coming to visit her church in her neighborhood, and that she set it down to a T, that she came in, she shook her hand and all that. So she's like, man, based on, my interaction with you, I voted for you. And then here there's a situation that arises, and, feminism going sometimes, we as black folks got this divide, because sometimes you got people who, okay, we black, right? We probably black people, but then we get into gender, and then we get into our sexual. So we get chopped up, right? So she wants to say, sister girl, you black, I'm black, and so in the situation you supposed to be, and it's like, but this politics, right? And the fact that, let's see who it was that came in kicking in your door. The policies apply, like we can catch the chief drunk in the car and he get fired, but you kicking the damn door, it's like, well, I apologize to you. Wasn't that good enough? I apologize. That ain't good enough. Oh, okay, my fault. My bad. So we see that the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, which is COPA, they had launched an investigation into this. And, according to this, is related to the search of her home. They say search. I don't know how that was search. It was home invasion, right? That, again, I said February, but actually I think it was in November 12th of 2019. And we see that shortly after that, we see that Ms. Young had filed a lawsuit against the city in connection with that raid. And supposedly to this day, it still remains ongoing, right? And so they said that as that suit was, let's say, progressing, this is how we end up getting the video that which we've seen, is because the city turned over the video footage, right, to Miss Young and her attorney. But they claim, or there's supposed to be some paperwork that talk about some protective order that was placed to prevent what we end up seeing. So think about that. So they was, okay, we're going to give you this so you can help you to go with your case, but we don't want public information. So now we can see why, on their behalf, why they didn't want it out there. But the truth of the matter is, I think that should be public information, right? Don't you think it should be public information? I mean, other people will see it according to them, and, a mistake is one thing, getting on public transportation, a bus or something like that, or walking and getting in the elevator, somebody step on your shoe. Oh, my bad. Oh, my fault. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? I better not be one of them young Thundercats out there. You step on their shoe, that might be something entirely different. But anyway, so that's a mistake, right? But kicking somebody's door in, guns drawn, going through that, you know what I'm saying? But, just butt naked, and you're female, I mean, the trauma of that in itself, especially when you talk about Akashic records that are sitting up inside of you, and they're talking about the trauma of we as Black Americans in this country, can trigger something. You kind of heard it, how she was speaking, right? Matter of fact, let me show one more thing before I get up. Okay, again, look at how, look at this. I want you to see this. Just in case somebody might be in here, may not be in here. You may not see this show after I do it because it's a test run, right? But did you notice that when she was sitting there, I'm talking about this trauma part when you're dealing with we as Black Americans, right? Here you are doing what you're doing, minding your business, not bothering nobody, and even in this place that you call your castle gets invaded, and you still have to put on these airs. What are you talking about, Mr. Blow? Let me show y'all something right quick. Check this out. We'll be right back.
I'm a social worker. I've been a social worker for 20 years. I follow the law. I don't get in trouble for anything. I don't do illegal stuff. I'm not that person. You got the wrong information. I'm a social worker. I've been a social worker for 20 years. I follow the law. I don't get in trouble for anything. I don't do illegal stuff. I'm not that person. You got the wrong information.
All right. So that is what we as Black Americans deal with. And I'm not going to say that each and every one of us, but I'm just going to say, did you see how she had to try to convince the people who done kicked in her door, invading her castle, to make them feel some kind of way that they know they wrong, but I have to still de-escalate you and make you believe that I'm not one of the type that you would be looking for. Did y'all catch that? She had to run through her credentials. Oh, I am a social worker, been working for this. You got the wrong one. I'm not the type of Black person that you would, you get what I'm saying? You get, see, now you may not be Black if you hear me, but I'm just saying, think about that. Right? You don't go through what Black people go through, even in your own home. Because ask yourself this question, be honest with yourself. How many times have you ever seen where police is kicking in the door of white people's house accidentally? Let me say that again. How many times have you ever seen police kicking in white people's door accidentally? We looking for the wrong person. Why? Oh, I know. Many gonna say, I ain't crying. We don't have to rob. Well, you already did all the stealing and robbing. You did all that back in the beginning when you were still in the country, right? You did all the stealing and killing it's sprinkling, you know, and it is, but you know what I'm saying? That's what this country was built on. So don't try to act like we innocent, that we ain't never done nothing, but that's how the whole situation got to there. But the point is, you don't see that. And if they probably do have them, they probably not going to, you know, publicize that or use propaganda on it. But when it comes to us, right, you're going to see that, right? So that was something that tells you that certain people try to fit in this mold to not make white people feel uncomfortable. Right? I'm walking on eggshells. You understand? Well, how about this? I got one. How about this? I'm going to give you a reenactment. Let me see. Can I do this one? Let me see if I can do this one. Let me see. Because this is basically... Yeah, let me go ahead and do this. All right, I'm going to do this one. And this is basically how it is. And see, this is why they really don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to tie this in right quick. Check this out. I'll be right back. No, I ain't going to come back.
The program may be unsuitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Right? So everybody's seen this today, right? You seen there where Miss Ann, I'm going to say Miss Ann, right? Miss Ann sat there today, you know what I'm saying? Because that propaganda is like, well, hey, black folks, you need to get out there and take this shot, right? So here y'all is. You want to publicize. You want to put it on TV so everybody can see it, right? And then you seen old Miss Ann right here. She took that shot, didn't she? Right? Miss Ann is starting to get a little woozy and feeling inside. Oh, you see that? Oh, shit is getting to me, right? And, wait, oh, damn. Oh, no, Miss Ann, no. Miss Ann, don't do that, Miss Ann. Oh, no, Miss Ann. Oh, you know, the effects of that is with most slaves seen that say, master, I ain't taking no shots, master. I ain't about to take no shots. You see Miss Ann laying out over there like that? I sure don't want none of that stuff she got. So now they doing everything to say, oh no, she was hurt because of her pain. She didn't fall up because of the shot. What's wrong with you Negroes? What's wrong with you? See? Because see, our history and that trauma, see, just like what happened when kicking in that door. Well, when we see Miss Ann fall out because she took that damn shot, what you think? They was sitting here like, what? You see Miss Ann? Miss Ann fell out of that shot. Oh no, son, I just don't want to be taking out that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So the point is, the history, the trauma, the things that affect us, then people think we not supposed to be apprehensive. Well, history with the same ones who kicking your damn door, the same one who was the overseer on the damn thing, who was the patty roller and said you had drapetomania because you didn't want to get on the damn, you don't want to be a slave no damn more, right? So, anyway, kind of funny, right? Kind of funny. Not really funny, but it's funny. So we see that accordingly, by CBS doing all this reporting, they said in recent years, they have been saying this extensively, there's been a lot of bad raids going on with the CPD. Right? There's been a lot of them. I've seen an article I had seen in there. And let's see, do I got that? I think I can show that because, yeah, I can show that. Let me show you. Let me just show you this. Right, they're saying right there. You see on your screen there? And that happened around in the same, like if that was November, I think this one was this one might have been in February, right? We see wrongfully raised home 3 times in 4 months. I don't know how you get 3 and 4 together. Unless it was, on the third one, you did it at, let's say 11:59 p.m. and then it went to 12 a.m. So you counted the 3 to 4. Because I can't see how you get 3 and 4. That's some new math. I can't count like that. I don't know how you get 3 days and 4 months. I don't know how you get three times in 4 months. And that's that new math. You know, that's that new. So the only way I can tabulate that is it had to be, you went on that third night, you came in at 11:59 59 p.m. and then when y'all left, it was the next day. So you just said 3 out of 4. Yeah, some new math. But anyway, but that's according to what they were saying, right? That's what they said, right? So that's kind of like, shit, wait a minute. How can you, it's like seeing a kid that be walking down the street, in old school day, walking down the street, he just tripping. It's once in a while you see somebody that hit the corner tripping, they tripping and do that little cool little, oh, ain't nobody see me, right? But what if we just keep tripping and keep tripping like that? What's wrong with that boy? We got a club foot or something? What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? You got club foot? So you can't keep tripping like that. There's something wrong. You keep going to the wrong place over and over and over, and then there's many more that nobody ain't talking about, right? So again, it's not to, talk bad about, which we need is just the fact that there has to be some light to make some changes of that, because again, these are people who are being affected by the foulest ways done by that of the officials, right? But we ain't supposed to be having no opinion. We ain't supposed to be talking about nothing, right? So we see that the attorney, Young's attorney, and according to how you seen that brother that was in that video he was talking about, then he said, well, I don't know how that video became public. I don't know how. I know we had it, but how it got public, we don't know, right? So what they end up doing is, the city head sat there and tried to put a sanctions on the lawyer, because they said, well, you actually broke, what we tried to put originally when we gave it to you. You weren't supposed to show it to nobody, but we don't know how it got up out of there, leaked out. Kind of like the same thing with that Joe Biden when he sat down with all those so-called black leaders and sitting in there and telling them, look, I'm telling y'all in here, don't be asking for nothing, all right? I'm not going to do no executive orders. I'm going to follow the Constitution, but I didn't promise you any damn thing, all right? You voted on me, that's all you need to do, right? That kind of, right? So the same thing he playing, same thing. I don't know how that tape got leaked out there, but y'all heard a lot of them was talking about that Joe Biden that said, now, wait a minute. It was bootleg, it was all the sellout ass reverends and all. So what pro-black nigga was up in here? One of you blue black ass niggas was up in here. You leaked that damn shit. Now look at it, right? So the same thing here. He said, I don't know how that guy out there, man. I said, I don't know. So I said, all right, we're gonna put this on your ass, right? So we see the city is going to intend to, again, they say that since you put that portion of the video, now check this out. Since you put that portion of the video that you seen, they said, all right, that's what you want to do. So we going to tell the judge, right? We question to the judge that the city intends to release the remaining videos of the entirety of it. So wait a minute. What could they show, right? What could they really show that would be like, you know what? What we gonna show you, besides what you've seen already, is gonna actually vindicate what we did. Let me say that again. Wait a minute. Do they think that they got something else that they gonna show? What they gonna show her? Doing a drug deal, and then they followed her, and she was with the dude, and he got away. I mean, that's one thing that they probably could actually, make it, don't justify it, but it'd be like, okay, well, he was with you. He was naked because he was there. So what would you mean we won't release the entirety? That is going to show something. I mean, we've seen the crux of everything that went. What else could you show? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's the politics of it, right? So that's the politics. We're gonna do it that way. So anyway, right? And so we see that Young's attorney again, and here it is. His name is Keenan Salter, I think his name is, and he's saying that he said, yeah, the city should move to publicly release all the footage. He's like, yeah, you should do it all. What you holding back for? You know what I'm saying? It's like you ain't gotta make no speech. You just go on put it out, but you ain't gotta make no damn speech. Just go on put all that shit out there, right? And so, so they like, okay. So he, the lawyer for it say, yeah, the footage of the police encounter with the civilians is something that the public should be wanting to be. You know what I'm saying? It would be helpful to not just, not to the members of the public, but also to the police. So, yeah, if you have that's going to actually, make this situation better and to show the light that it was really not your fault, yeah, why not? Yeah, that's right. He said, release all the videos. Bring light to the issues, right? Shine the bright light on the public of what the police are doing. Go ahead. All right? He said, now, when the police are right, that will be seen. So, we don't do us with the Rodney King thing, right? What you see, right? Remember that those who was around with Rodney King, seeing Rodney getting beat up out of drunk up out of there? And that was like the beginning of what we is now with all this YouTube and social media and posting videos and viral, right? We seen that beat down. We was like, damn, man, was that necessary? But again, the country was divided on how they seen it, right? So what happened? Well, when it came down to that, coming down to that, they said, okay. They said, wait a minute, hold on. All right, that's what we're going to have to do. Black people like sports, right? They like sports. So what you're going to do is color commentary. We're going to get Dick Costa and get Mark and get Marv Dyson. Want to bite in the back. What's his name? Marv Albert. That's his name. Yeah, get him. You do a color content. So we're going to tell them what you see is not what you see. We're going to interpret what you see, okay? I know what your eyes see. That's not what we have to tell you color commentary. We're going to tell you what you're seeing. Yes, you see, but the video doesn't tell everything, right? That kind of shit, right? That's kind of shit you try to talk to us, tell us something. We're going to tell you what you're seeing, right? Not your eyes are lying to you. What the, right? It's funny shit, but anyway. So, that's what he's saying. Well, if it's going to show everything, you don't need to make no speech. Go and put it all out there, right? Right? Let everybody see what it is. Because he said, well, we respect the job. But, when you have a job like this, there comes responsibilities, it comes with duties. And guess what? Body cameras help you in those situations so that sometimes, the assailants and suspects can be lying and and the cameras will help you, right? It's there to help protect you as well as the civilian. So if you got anything that you want to release it. Why is it that was his intent, but we keep finding out more times that they don't want to show that. So that makes us have to what? Question it. Right? But people get mad because, if you become before that, be a victim of that, and people want to suppress and not get and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They could exonerate, and it's like people going to go 30, 40 years to be exonerated for something they ain't never done. When they had the evidence that they suppressed it and said, no, we're not going to give this. You know what I'm saying? No. So put it all out there, but that's just how it is. We know the truth. The truth in itself is not, people don't like the truth, so we know how they go down, right? So we see that based on the fact that with all that being said, Ms. Young, she had filed a federal lawsuit, but it seemed like they had dismissed that lawsuit earlier this year, right? Then she ended up filing a new lawsuit, I think it was like Wednesday, and I think what her lawsuit is going to be pertaining to on this is about the fact that she was denied the Freedom of Information Act of that request of that, right? And so just the fact of what she or that whole ordeal in itself, right? Many people don't. I mean, at that story that I showed you there, where it said 3 out of 4, that one, they had finally moved up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Getting married, that somebody kicking you, 3, 4 times. You got children with you. They all traumatized. Every time some little bump, you can't feel comfortable once that's been. You know what I'm saying? Apology it's got to be more. You got to rebuild the confidence not so, well, it's going to take time for the individual because, again, trauma, everybody's, threshold, pain, and tolerance is different. But as collective, people will be like, as a whole, the trust ain't there. Probably before there was cameras, black people been saying about a lot of stuff that people just say, anytime you had a lawyer, they say, all black people, everybody in jail innocent. They say, oh, they all innocent in jail. And come to find out, be a lot of times, some people be up in there that did long life bids to come to find out that they didn't do it. Well, it's kind of funny, right? But one other thing is, before I close up out of here, because again, this was just a test show. If you should happen to be in here and hear me, if you like what you heard, again, hopefully it wasn't too muffled. I got to do some retooling with my mic and stuff. But I do have this show. Again, this is the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. Because why? We just talk about things that sometimes that, the things, the elephant in the room that people don't want to hear and talk about. A lot of people are afraid, but point is, we talk about news over here, things that just are relevant and prevalent to everybody. It's coming from a black man's point of view. And so you can also go to Black Minds TV. Go over there, subscribe as well. Right? We do shows over there too. But this other point I want to talk about before I get up out of here. You remember when they said they had an informant, right? Right? It's kind of like they say, I guess your clues, or let's say somebody breaking a story, like again, what do you call that person, anonymous person there, the source, right? They say your source as good as, the conviction or the article or breaking the case. So, according, they got a tip from an informant. Now, sometimes, a informant is a snitch, a trick, right? Somebody, who, I guess, and all societies have them, and they come in all kinds of flavors and colors and ethnicities, right? But they said this one, he was about a 23-year-old one, and, according to the informant, said it was about a 23-year-old man with ammunition and a handgun. Now, wait a minute. I thought y'all had a search warrant. Again, it's contradicted in the story. So, is it that somebody was patrolling and somebody said, I seen Blase Skippy, he got a gun and ammunition and he went up in there? Because how does that make sense if you say y'all coming in with a search warrant? That don't make sense. You don't need an informant with a search warrant. Matter of fact, didn't we hear that same story in Kentucky that it was a informant that said that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like these informants that y'all getting, they ain't reliable. And they putting people's lives in danger. So shouldn't that be public information when you find out who that is or no? Because he undercover, right? He got more work to do and he ain't gonna get paid, or he ain't gonna get no more whatever kickbacks or whatever it is he get, right? But I thought that was kind of funny, that the fact that they said that an informant that told me that a 23-year-old man had ammunition and a handgun, and then seen that CBS had ended up finding some more information that said that they had in their research, they come to find out that was said it was public information that the person who they was looking for, now check this out, and this is what they didn't tell, and this is showing the shoddiness of the police work, that the address of the suspect that they were in search for, that was listed, was across the street from Miss Young's home. Let me say that again. According to CBS, they found through public available information that the address of the suspect that they were in search was listed. The address was across the street. So wait a minute. That's how old Joe. How many did it take to screw in the light bulb, right? Nobody knew the address. We just running gun hope and kicking in doors and We don't got the address. None of that don't even count. So anyway, that's what happened, right? So it went down, right? So, hey, we all have to be apprehensive about them kind of situations because, again, mistakes happen, but not that kind of trip and fall. Wrong address, wrong person, nothing matching. The stories, right. So we understand, you work somewhere, somebody get in trouble, you try to help them as much as you can without, implicating yourself. I think that's what the mayor tried to do, right? Man, I apologize. Thank God. No, that's accountability. And we know what that's going to end up being. So, okay, so should people be fired? If you and I kicked in somebody's door and said, oh, it was the wrong, it was the wrong door. Are we going through the process? Are we going to see the judge? Yes, we is, right? Ain't going to be no apologies, right? So, there's like three different, you got black law, white law, police law, politicians law. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? They got their own folders how they deal with each and every one of us, right? So, well, again, as this story go on more, we will do more. But, again, this was just a test show. Again, let me look at see if I know ain't nobody in here. I'm by my damn self, right? Oh, Leonard the Euler was up in here. What's up, dude? What's good with you, bro? You up in here? I was up in here doing this little test run, seeing what this show gonna do. And I'm not sure if my mic. You still up in here, the Euler? The Euler, you still in here? Let me know, bro. Let me know if you're still up in here, man. No, you're in here laughing at me. All right. So anyway. So I'm getting it all worked out again. I had some other stuff, equipment. The equipment ain't working out too well, but I got it going. So anyway, I was doing a late night, was up. Let me see, I'm going to go ahead and test this out. So again, this is the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. Been in the business since 2012. They done killed like 33 subscribers. I know damn well I ain't lost 33 subscribers because I couldn't even get 100 views. But I can lose 33 people. But YouTube on that nonsense, right? Like, what? This place is changing real fast. So anyway, I want to thank each and every one of you for who should happen to be here. I see Leonard Jr. was in the house and other people who might have stopped by. Thank you for those likes. But this video won't be up after I be done. We'll have to check it out, see what's going on. If it's got some good qualities, I'll leave it up for those who just don't think that I ain't been around. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. So again, I am your host, the most hated show, the Whiteologist, Mr. Blows Your Minds. And before I get up out of here, let's go ahead and get one of them. Put some in this plate as I get up out of here.
Of the following program may be unsuitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
You can't do Miss Ann. No, Miss Ann, please don't take it, Miss Ann. Miss Ann, don't take it. Please, Miss Ann. You know, if you take that, Miss Ann, we done told you what's gonna happen to you, Miss Ann. Watch Miss Ann. I get a little woozy. Yeah. Watch Miss Ann. Watch Miss Ann. That little long blank, like, whoa. Like, on the edible getting to, oh, shit. What the hell? Oh, shit. No, Miss Ann. No! Don't you do it. Oh, look at Miss Ann. You know the slaves like, oh no, master, I ain't taking none of that. NASA, get out of here. All right, y'all. This is the most hated show on the Black Corner Internet. To the next show, y'all. Peace, love, and to the next show. To the next show.
What are you?
I'm black and beautiful.
What is your nationality?
My nationality is Afro-American.
Suppose I had some money in my pocket. Suppose I gave you $1 to say that you're an American Negro. This is money now. Money talks. Money talks. This dollar, and if you don't say it, you don't get it. You're an American Negro, aren't you?
No.
You won't have any money. You know you need money, don't you?
Yes.
You need money to live, don't you?
Yes.
All right. All you have to say, Leon, is that you're an American Negro. Aren't you an American Negro?